Hey there, folks. Trigger warning. I will be talking about sex, however, indirectly, and also age. Age of consent, kinda. Anyway, here's the question. Okay, at some point in history, we went from it being you're an adult when you're sexually mature, capable of reproduction. And now we're to the point where we're not sure you're old enough to have sex until you get to college, basically. I mean, we're sort of iffy about it. Certainly, we don't want anyone younger than say 16 having sex with anybody, and with like 16, 17, and 18 just, other people in that age group. And I just want to know what happened. Like, why did the age of consent have to go up? I'm not disagreeing with it. I definitely don't want, change. But the fact that we have this period in between sexual maturity and adulthood is historically bizarre. And think about it. In the old world, pre-industrial revolution, you had people considered adults that we would consider children. Think about that. They're going around with adult responsibilities, doing adult things, and to us, they're children. And I'm not just talking about, harvesting the fields. I'm talking about, like, getting marriages and getting loans and going off to war. Can you imagine a 14-year-old going off to war? Either the world was literally partially run by children in those eras, or they matured faster. Now, the most common historical explanation for this is that society has become more complicated, and therefore it takes longer to train up an adult. And that sounds plausible, but I don't think it really, I think if you start getting down into the science of it, we can handle just about the same complexity of society as we've always been able to. And society has had to, just expect that we'll only understand our little slice of it. So I'm not sure that that's really the case. I think there's something more going on, and I'm very curious as to what that is. I mean, the concept of a teenager did not exist until, like, the 1940s and 50s. Definitely, the 50s was the rise of teen culture. There was actually an article in Life magazine that introduced most of the world to the word teenager. So, possibly created the word teenager. And that boggles my mind, because that's just 100 years, or that's less than 100 years ago. And what on earth changed exactly? I mean, yeah, what happened in that 100 years? And it's still shifting upwards. This is not over. We now have this period that as far as I know, hasn't been named yet, in your 20s, when you're not considered a full adult yet, at least of all by yourself. This is your, work a minimum wage job and hang out and smoke pot with your friends era. And people don't start really getting serious about their lives and, marriage and kids and things like that until they're 30. Now, historically, 30 was 3/4 dead. I mean, lifespan has to have something to do with it. The longer we live, the more we can extend childhood. And honestly, the more we want to. I don't understand that part, but give me a minute, I'll come up with a theory. Anyway, so yeah, it's just, I wanted to put that out there. I wanted to put it out there, like, what changed? What, we have so many people living, like, will childhood remain the same percentage of our lifespan? So if we have some kind of massive medical breakthrough on the scale of the invention of antibiotics, will childhood extend into our 40s? If we're living 150 years? It's food for thought. Like, I wonder what it will take to make the grown-ups of the future. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Also, remember to like and subscribe. I guess that's all from me for today, folks. I will talk to you nice people again tomorrow. Bye-bye.